All praise and glory giving to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching this 100% truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children of the great multitude of the elect. I'm your brother Magun Shalamar. Title of this video is his track record shows the wickedness of Esau, Edom, beginning with the small hats, the top elite. This Benjamin Netanyahu is from youth, has been talking what he wanted to be done in this world, and we see that Nero has fulfilled all of his dreams. So Nero is in the pocket. He's in the pocket of Nero now. The small hats are, and we know the small hats, the top banking family, are the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the Murdochs, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, the Morgans. All of these international banking families are empowered behind the scenes of all these great nations on this earth, and this is how they're going to bring in their new world order on the whole earth, and bringing in that the micro C-hip that's going to be placed in the right hand or forehead of everyone on this earth except for the elect. And that's why America is going to be going to burn, become a lake of fire. And also that land over there in Israel, where those people are, calling themselves the Jews, but are not, but the synagogue of Satan. But the thing about Israel is going to be rebuilt when Yahweh Shah brings down his kingdom of heaven. That place is going to be beautiful. So we're going to play this video. Fair use, not for monetary gain, but for educational purpose only. Fair use.
To take away the Soviet Union and its chief proxy, the PLO, international terrorism would collapse.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Third nation, by the way, is Libya. Obviously, we like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran.
Exporting terrorism not only to every part of the Middle East, but to Venezuela.
By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? We got to do something with Greenland.
If you take away the Soviet Union and its chief proxy, the PLO, international terrorism would collapse.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Third nation, by the way, is Libya. Obviously, we like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran.
Exporting terrorism not only to every part of the Middle East, but to Venezuela.
By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? We got to do something with Greenland.
If you take away the Soviet Union and...
This is Job chapter 20, verse 11. It says, his bones are full of sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. And that's Esau's track record. Ever since they've been back in power during the Renaissance, after they came out of the pit, that prison for 1,000 years, when Jake was ruling, they've been the wicked on this earth ever since the Renaissance. And so since this youth, they've been being in this wicked. They never changed, you know. And this is that video shows you that when is an example of that, because when Benjamin Netanyahu was a younger man, he's been saying the same things. He's been always saying what countries, what person was the wicked, who need to be taken out, and it'll be so much better. As we see when Saddam Hussein was taken out, that place over in Iraq, it got worse. That's when all the so-called, what the America called them to be, the terrorists or whatnot, they became more erratic, you know. And so that did not work by taking out Saddam Hussein, because first of all, that whole idea that he had all these mass destruction of weapons was a lie, you know. And so this devil, Ben Netanyahu, has been lying since he's been given some sort of power. And Donald Trump is he got Donald Trump in his front pocket, you know, because of those Feinstein files, I would say. You know, he got something on him where he's doing his bidding. Whatever Ben Netanyahu wants, Trump is doing. Because if you go back and look at Trump a few years ago, he was saying that he will not um, proceed on what Israel will want him to do. He's going to cut ties with Israel. But what did he do? He did the total opposite. He did exactly what this man wanted him to do when it came to Iran, when it came to Argentina, Cuba. So yeah, again, I'm gonna read this. His bones are full of sin of his youth. It's talking about his track record. This is Esau's track record. This is Amalek, the small hat's track record, and which shall lie down with him in the dust. Which he's the border of wickedness. Wherever he goes, he's the wicked. The only way that this wickedness is going to end is when Yahweh Shai have to come and take this man out of power and put his ass in captivity for 1,000 years, and then he gonna get Obadiah 118 after his 1,000 years. That's the only way, is to get rid of him. It has to go down in the dust with him. He's not going to turn from his wickedness, This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. And we're going to start at the end. It says, I will read the whole thing. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, that he have taken against Edom, right? And his purposes, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. And that's talking about Esau, Edom being in his power, and also talking about America, because America has been is the most powerful nation on earth. They given the blessings. Esau given the blessings of the sword, but America is known to have the most powerful capability of destruction amongst all the Edomite countries. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that least of the flock is talking about Amalek. They the smallest of the Edomites, but they're the most powerful. It says, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And surely he shall make America the habitation desolate with them. Because Israel is going to be destroyed, nuclear destruction, and also America is going to be destroyed. He brought America in on this Iranian war, and that's just the beginning of it. But America is not going to be inhabited again. Once the fire in America, that lake of fire, died down, it's going to become a desert, full of desert creatures that's going to inhabit all the mansions, and where places was so beautiful, beautifully built. Them places are going to become the house for dragons and commandants and desert-like creatures. And the only ones that's going to make it out of here are the elect. This is Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6. It said, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistine. Who's that bastard talking about? The small hats. They're the ones that's over there in Ashdod. They're the ones over in the Levant region calling themselves God's chosen people, but they're the synagogue of Satan, the small hats. And the ones over there with them is the Philistines, the pride of the Philistines. Well, it was the Philistines, but now they're the Ishmaelites over there. Neither one of those are the people that should be there. The people that should be there, that will take over when Yahweh Shai comes back, is going to be his chosen people, starting with the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian. But they are bastards, man. They're not God's people, and this is who America is who's being led by these small hats, But the Lord is going to take them down when He returns, as soon as this MOTB comes out. So that's the prophecies that we're waiting on, and we're just watching to see every day what plans that Nero has, because his mind changes every day, and we know that this dollar is crashing every day. The gas prices are going up. The people are mad. The insurrection is brewing here in America. So we're just waiting for the economy to crash, and throughout the whole world they go away from this dollar and totally go into the digital banking system, which is already being being played out in a lot of countries. They're already starting to switch over to the digital. So with that, I pray you was edified. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Hakadash. Again, double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom.